and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. Happy 5th of December, everybody. So it is time to open day 5. Some of you may have worked out what is potentially in day 5, but let's open it up to confirm. So for day 5, we do have another diamond painting canvas. This will give you Advent days 5 through to 8. A few different designs on this one. So we have a little jumper, a Christmas tree, a snowflake, and a Santa hat. So yeah, different designs for you to do with your diamonds from day 1. And then you can attach them to your cards from day 3. I do suggest doing them all on the canvas before cutting them up. It is completely up to you, but I personally find it easier to do the diamond painting when I'm able to hold the canvas, you know, to make sure things are straight and all that sort of stuff. So I do find it easier to cut after it's been completed. But of course, it is yours now. It is completely up to you. But I thought I'd just give you that little hint in case. So that's day 5 Advent. And for day 5 on the painting, we are up here. So let's see what we're working with and see if we need to do some little adjustments. Just some scooting up just to make sure that my diamonds don't, just so that they sit nicely on the canvas. I think I only need to do those 2. And oh, we have a nice lot of purple for today. So let me bring in my comments, questions, etc. and zoom you all the way in and get you in the middle. I am using another little bitty pen today. This one was from Lady Dax and P Jelly, and I've teamed it up with a burgundy tray. It's a little bit in between burgundy and red, but I went for burgundy. Let me pop my cover paper in my case lid, and yet again I am going to start with black. Can't believe we are 5 days in already. It's like that's like pretty much a week. That's a work week. In fact, it is a work week because December 1st started on a Monday. So for many of us, it's a work week, not for all. But yeah, it is day 5. We are well on our way through December already. Yesterday was Wednesday for me, just to cause even more confusion. You should try in here. I never know what day it is. I have to keep checking because as soon as I do a whip and waffle for the likes of day 5, I keep thinking it's the 5th. Goodness help me, I'll be wanting to celebrate Christmas Day on Christmas Eve at this rate. But yeah, it is the 5th for you guys. It is the 4th for me. But yesterday, Catherine and I did get the house sorted. So we got loads of washing done, which is hopefully drying. We got a load of presents wrapped. So I got presents wrapped that Catherine couldn't see. Catherine wrapped the ones that she can see, which is great. And we got those all under the tree. Christmas presents have always been under the tree in our house because when the children were younger, Santa came and stamped the presents and filled their stockings. So the same thing happens now. Presents go under the tree, They're not allowed to open them until Santa has been and done his magic stamp to say that they're allowed, and they know he's been because he'll fill their stockings. And yeah, stocking gifts are from Santa, and other gifts, they read the tag to determine who they are from. But yeah, it's looking very festive by my tree now because it's got all the presents underneath. Today's plan is to do 2 whip and waffles so that I can free up the weekend. And I have orders to pack, and I know I have a lot of diamond dust drills to pack. I think that's going to be my priority because I know I need to do at least 2 colours, I think, for the order that I've got in. So I think I'm just going to try and get all of those sorted today. The next 2 days for me are going to be shop restocking days. And the dream that Catherine is, she is currently sat with a box of cardstock. She is bagging up cardstock for me like a trooper while watching Our Planet. So she loves just listening to David Attenborough. So she's currently got headphones on and is listening to Our Planet while counting cardstock. She is in heaven.
Dream day.
It is her dream day, she said. And it is a dream day for me because it gets cardstock done. So I am all for that. It is raining outside. The lighting actually doesn't look too bad through the camera, but it is a pretty dismal day over here, which is a bit of a shame, but the show must go on. I can't wait for lighting to be better, to be honest. I think the camera does a pretty good job at fixing it as long as I am filming in daylight in the earlier part of the day. So yeah, we shall continue on with our diamond painting. And yeah, hopefully, say, finishing off this week with all the sort of demanding things. I'm hoping to finalise my order for my supplier as well later on, today/tomorrow. I'm hoping to finalise details today and then make sure everything is in the right format for the supplier tomorrow. And get that all sent off, which will be a very big thing that's sort of done. And yeah, it will make me feel better that that is in and being worked on. And yeah, then I can go on to other tasks that I have been itching to do but haven't had the time to complete. And yeah, I'm hoping to end the week on a big plus. And yeah, get some creative juices flowing this weekend. I'm hoping to make, I did make some like little makeup type bags a couple of months ago from a pattern that I got from somebody I watch on YouTube, and I am hoping to get the medium size done, or at least some of it done this weekend, because Karis would like a bigger makeup bag, and she has Spider-Man fabric that she would like it made in, so I am going to try and get that done this weekend and maybe get some more done. And yeah, just have a little bit of a messing and a sewing weekend, if all goes well. We also have an event, I think, on Sunday at the sailing club, so we might be going to that as well. We shall see how the weekend goes. But yeah, all plans for a good good weekend, hopefully. Hopefully you guys have got plans for good weekends as well. I know some people are possibly putting their tree up, if that's not up yet. Ours was up probably a little bit early, but it worked out well. And I am happy that it's up and there's somewhere for all the presents to go, because they were taking over my bedroom in ridiculous fashion. So, and now I have washing taking over my bedroom instead. So it all works out in the end. Right, comments, etc. So Bev, she's commented on day 3. She said she didn't have a clue, she said, about today's Advent parcel. She said she even counted the cards that were in it. She said, and it still didn't click. She says she is really enjoying the event painting, and she says she suspects that she will have it completed by the weekend. She said she is on section 7 already. Goodness me, storming ahead with that one. I got quite a bit of diamond painting in last night, but my decision wheel chose Spaceman. It's actually the first time it has chosen that one. So it has now chosen everything. I do reset the wheel every time I tell it to spin. But yeah, it chose Spaceman last night. So I spent like pretty much the whole evening working on Spaceman and got a nice chunk of that done, or out of this world, should I say. So I got quite a nice big chunk of that done, hoping to get some more diamond painting in this evening, after me and Megan have made some decisions about what we're ordering. That will be the first job. Make decisions about what we're ordering, and then I can finalise it tomorrow. But yeah, it is turning into a good week because the chaos is calming down, which makes it a good week for me. That's what I like, when I have a plan to calm the chaos and it slowly but surely starts to work, is always a plus. And yeah, I hope you guys are getting a little bit more organised and sorted out, potentially, whether it be for Christmas or whether it be for something else. I even actually have Karis's birthday card, which normally I have a present sorted because I sort it all in with Christmas. But normally the card and, you know, this to go with for her birthday is normally a last minute. But I actually have her card. Her presents have been wrapped by Catherine. But her presents are wrapped. Sorry. And she's apologising. She's just sneezing. Yeah, it's all been wrapped and is hidden away, ready for her birthday. So I'm feeling very organised, which always makes me a happier, calmer bunny. That's for sure. So yeah, I hope everybody else is starting to feel the same in whatever way suits them. But if you're feeling a bit discombobulated like I was at the beginning of the week, I highly recommend a piece of paper and a pen, and plan out what are the urgent things that will make you feel more like yourself, and work through them. It's great. Okay, next comment is Bev again, but she's commenting on day 2. She said she got number 725, which is a yellow, in her Advent colour this morning. She said it isn't a colour in the event painting, she says, but it's in my rainbow now. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, just get it in your painting. She says she's gone a bit rogue, she says, with her painting, to be honest. She says she's done her second section this morning and this afternoon, and then she decided to do all of the rainbow. She said each colour of the rainbow has 2 symbols, so she's done one in Diamond Dust Drills and one in ABs. She said it might not be the exact numbers, she says, but the shades are close, so that'll do me. And I do think you definitely get away with Diamond Dust and with AB because of the coating on them, whether it be iridescent or glittery, because it changes the colour of the diamond slightly. I think you get away with using different colours a lot easier than you would with plain drills. So I definitely think you can substitute colours that aren't quite the exact right number very easily. She says the Christmas tree is still bare. I like it, putting diamond painting before the Christmas tree. She says she's only wrapped 5 presents, she says, of the gift mountain that threatens to become an avalanche if you walk too close to it. I know that feeling. We had to start corralling ours in big shopping bags. She says, but that's what tomorrow is for. See, a plan, a plan. That's all you need is a plan. And then hopefully it gets implemented, and if something happens, you just readjust slightly. And all ends up okay with the world. She says, or the day after. She says it will get done at some point before Christmas. Well, that is the main thing, isn't it? So I thought we'd wrapped all presents yesterday that were remaining. And then I remember one that got stashed in a different place. So that will need wrapping. I also found another one of Catherine's that I hadn't wrapped. It was tucked behind some decorations. So I need to do that, which I might try and fit in later on today. And then one turned up this morning in the post for Lewis. So that needs wrapping, but at least now they can go under the tree and out the way. And yeah, just they look pretty under the tree. They don't look pretty in bags in my bedroom. That's all I can say. Kim, she says glitter. She says no, no, no. Yes, it's still, if I look close enough, I've just spotted one to the left of me, I can still see the odd piece of glitter on this table. It's not too bad, it's just glitter off decorations. At least it wasn't the likes of a pot of glitter going everywhere. But yes, that is one of the downfalls of getting all the Christmas decorations out, is the glitter or the flock off the Christmas tree, because we have a flocked Christmas tree as well. So that's another one. I have to put the tree up, mess with all the branches, get all the branches splayed out right, and then hoover again, and then put decorations on, and then I often hoover again. And now any flock that comes off will just go on the presents. So quite frankly, it can stay there. But yeah, the area surrounding the tree definitely gets hoovered or vacuumed quite a bit more than other areas of the house. Oh, Pampered with Diamonds. She says she uses Diamond Dots stick. So this is for, why has the name escaped me? The lady in Australia, Nellie, that's it. Nellie in Australia. So there you go. Somebody does use the Diamond Dot stick. I have heard pretty good things about that one. So in fact, Jess Diamond Paints says dot stick from Diamond Dots or Reline's Tack It over and over are her suggestions for fixing a canvas with bad stick. So there you go. That's something that might be worth getting hold of if it's something that you can. I would suggest Spotlight in Australia is probably going to be your easiest place, unless you have the option to buy it online. And yeah, then there's probably a few places that you could get it from. Falpet says, thankfully, their dog loves staying in bed. So if they don't need to be up early, says they stay in bed and snuggle. Yes, me and Luna definitely stayed in bed and snuggled this morning. Not for a huge amount of time, but this past week, I think I definitely will say I have got out of bed later than I should have done. But hey ho, we're still making it work. I'm still getting done each day what I want to get done. Or at least I feel like I am. To get my life straighter in this week. She says most of the time when they get up early, she said it takes her a while to come downstairs. Yes, I will often be up earlier. In fact, I think it was Luna needing to go out that made me get up this morning. But quite often I will leave Luna in bed when I get up, especially if I get up at the right time that I'm supposed to. Yeah, often I will just leave her and she will go off the bed, quite often go upstairs, get in bed with Catherine instead and stay there for another hour. Keeps her happy. Keeps Catherine happy as well. She enjoys her morning snuggles when the dog decides to join her. Okay, number 7 is done. I think I am going to do number 8 and then I'll move over and do the brown because it just finishes this section here off. Plus, it's easy to find the drills when it's right next to the ones you just put back. So I'll go for easier options. Kathy says she loves my nail colour. Thank you. I've gone a bit brave this time, but it's working. I like it. I've got no idea what I'm doing next time, but then again, I never know. I always sit down and my nail tech says, what are we doing? I go, I don't know. I'll tell you in a bit. We have time, but it's like, yeah, I'll tell you in a bit. Oh, Louise says, would you be willing to show us a picture of your tree decorated with your baubles? Yes, I will add in a little, provided I remember and put it on the right day, but I will add a little sort of video clip of it. Once I have filmed the 2 whip and waffles I need to film today, I'll take a little video slide down of the tree and try and show you what that looks like. Hopefully the lighting will still be good, and I'll just tack it onto the end of this video after I've said tatty bye, and let you see what our tree looks like, because I'm really liking our tree this year. I like the fact that it coordinates with the couch, and that it's a little bit different from last year by just changing a couple of packs of the cheaper sort of baubles, and I still get to keep all our precious ones on there. Common Dog says Diamond Dots has dots stick and they highly recommend. So there we go. Definitely the way forward if you don't have a sticky canvas. Whereas my problem is currently picking up the drills. They've gone from being, this glue dot's gone from being too sticky, because I was just using the edge of the glue dot because it was very sticky, and now I need to remember to use it normally to pick them up. Kit says they did their second sections for both Zesty Wolf and this painting. She says neither one can use the diamond dust drills they received in their advent because the drills are square. Oh yes, and Zesty is round. Zesty was only available in round, and then this one is available in round or square. And I'm guessing, like me, you're doing the round one. And I'm doing the round because it's a change, because all my other diamond paintings that I have on the go are a square. So I like the fact that this one is a little bit different. Right, let's get some brown done. So start with number 3. Ooh, they sink into this tray. Doroby Punk, she says, talking about cats. She says her parents' neighbours have a cat that always sits on the fence or the balcony and watches the dog sitting on the other side of the fence watching the cat. She said she just has to be quick when she crosses the garden. She says luckily for her, she says her parents' dog is a 55 kilogram Leonberger, which is almost as big as a pony. Goodness me. He's not fast enough to catch her. Cats can be pretty quick when they want to be, considering they can also be very lazy and very dawdly. You know, like even when they walk across a fence, they tend to dawdle. Take it slow, bit by bit, tease the dog. They can be mighty quick when they need to be. She says, fortunately, he doesn't bark. Said even when all the dogs in the neighbourhood are going crazy, he doesn't care. Oh, that sounds nice. I think that's Luna's biggest drawback is the loudness of her bark. Apart from that, she's adorable. She said he's getting older, but he is still the sweetest with all her nieces and nephews around. She said he loves being in the middle and getting all the love and cuddles. It is nice when you have a dog that enjoys the cuddles and the snuggles. Luna is currently tucked up with Catherine on the couch, having her snuggles. And yeah, she loves it. She loves it when she can just curl up with you and go to sleep. Because normally, as soon as I sit down on the couch, which is normally when I'm waiting for Posty, if I'm not in the middle of something on the computer, I'll sit down on the couch. First thing she's doing is jumping up. Right, I'm actually going to switch up to this darker one because this is jumping out at me, and I want to cover it up so I can concentrate on my 4s and 5s and getting those done. So we'll get that darker one in for a little bit. And I need to scroll up on my comments so I can see. Okay, back to number 4. Some more of our tree done. Lady Dax, she says she did finish Black Lavender Cat on Sunday. She says so it was up and ready on the 1st. Didn't manage to start Floral Surprise yesterday. She says though that is her next task today. So this was a comment on the 2nd. Well, on the video from the 2nd. She says 3 of their cats take no notice of fireworks. She says, but old Mr. Spock is terrified of them. Oh, bless. He slinks off on his belly and hides under P. Jelly's bed. She says they were going off here. She says through most of October and November. Yeah, same here. They constantly seem to go off now. I mean, there's periods of time when they don't, but it's extremely intermittent between now and Christmas. But there was loads around November the 5th, of course. She says, sometimes in the middle of the night. She says, Blossom Chops couldn't believe it when she stayed with us. She says, talk about making her jump. She must live somewhere that's a lot nicer and quieter. But no, they do tend to like fireworks around where we are too. Not heard any for a while, but I'm sure there will be somebody's birthday weekend where they decide to set off fireworks somewhere. And then, of course, around Christmas, it will become apparent again. Inga, she says those silly fur babies and cardboard boxes. Yes. Luna got hold of some wrapping paper scraps yesterday. That was what she decided to rip up and leave all over my rug for me to clean up. So nice. She says, my cat Solomon loves them for all kinds of purposes. Insists on sleeping for a few days in a new box, regardless of the size, instead of his using his cat bed. Then he chews sides to make it his style. And then lastly, honing claws on them to make them more comfy. Says a few years ago, she had her Christmas decorations in a cardboard box and the cat started sleeping on it. So they decided to leave it for him. Let's say, she said, we did not have to put the box, did not have a box to put the decorations in, away in a month later. At least it helped them figure out what kind of scratcher he likes. She said the horizontal cardboard one, as others that they got were not used at all. Well, at least a cardboard box is potentially a scratcher that you can get for free, provided you can get them often enough to keep the cat entertained. Is always a good one. And this time of year, he'll be having the time of his life. Okay, number 4 is done. There's actually quite a few of those. So let's move on to number 5. Ellie says, hi Rebecca. She says she's been laughing about the cat stories. She says when she met Dean, he had a dog called Max. Fast forward a couple of years, and with her moving in, she said she wanted a cat, as she is an anything with fur kind of person. I like that phrase, anything with fur. Anyway, so Dean kept saying no, as Max chased cats out of the garden, and he thought Max didn't like them. They got a kitten in July of 2011, and she hated me in the beginning and hissed every time she looked at her. Goodness me, aren't their temperaments divine? She said she had a bedtime and had a bed with teddies and water, kitten milk, wet food tray, etc. And into the bathroom as the safest. She said, and Max was really good and would take himself to the bedroom if she got too much. And she said, and when she went to bed, Max had them all to himself. She says, fast forward when she was big enough to go out, and all 4 of us would go out at first. Max followed her everywhere, she said, and when she was hiding, he'd give her away. She went up a neighbour's tree, and She said she wasn't worried because she's had cats before, but Dean was worried. She said he climbed the tree to save her. To save her. She said Amber came down and Max, Amber and I all watched Dean try to come down gracefully. Goodness me. She said, nope, he fell from the tree. She said he wasn't too high, but had splinters and sores on his leg. She said a neighbour who has now moved once put up some strips with pointy triangle things along the top of their fence. She said on their side of the garden. She said it didn't stop her. She would just look like she was tiptoeing over them. She said Amber is now 14 and a half. She says we love her to bits and has had to put up with all the new additions we've made over the years. Sounds like she is living her best life. That's for sure. But yeah, cats, I think a lot of the time cats just do cats. Cats just do themselves, not interested in anybody else to a certain extent. They just do what they want to do. Okay, let me get Jay ready. Susan, she says she watched day 1 while doing her day 2 section. She says as she lives in New Zealand. Yes, my mum does the same. She says, and today she did day 3 in the wee hours of this morning, she says, because she couldn't sleep. She says when she was wrapping presents, she says she watched day 2. She says, but all presents are wrapped and she just needs some stocking fillers. I think I may have too many things to fit in the kids' stockings this year. That'll be entertaining. But we'll deal with that at a later date for sure. She says she's waiting for her partner's last 2 presents to come in. She said first time in her adult life it is all done before December and not left until the last week. How much nicer is it all to be done though at the beginning of December? It's so good. I mean, I've got a few bits that still need to arrive, but the fact of knowing that everything has been purchased and been sorted is just an absolute dream. It just leaves it so that I can just enjoy the time in of itself. Enjoy the month of December without it feeling a bit manic. I've got all the madness done in effect beforehand with plenty of time, not worried about time frames, time constraints. Is it going to get here? Is it not? I need to check, but I think everything may have actually now arrived. So there's a few personalised bits or made to order bits from small businesses that I've picked up, but I think they're all here now and have all been wrapped and put under the tree. I don't think hubby's done his shopping that he needs to do, but I've done mine, so I'm happy. Right, while we're on the green, let's get those 2. In fact, I might do all the small bits because they just use my pot and then I can just go back to the tray. So just have 2 little leaves on this one, and of course they use 2 different coloured diamonds, which I know is worth doing because it will look better. But I've currently got a lot of single diamonds to place. So, nearly dropped my pot lid. Okay, there's those 2. Let's do my 2 reds. So, a bit of Christmas red, even if it's going in a leaf. And then 3801, a more pinky red. There we go. Okay, now I can work on my tree. Checking I've picked up the right colour then. I looked before I put my hand on it, but I didn't stay looking at it until my hand had touched it. So to make sure I hadn't made a mess up. Inga, she says, yes, she says dot stick glue is good. She said she has used it to replace double-sided adhesive to poured glue. So she's used it to change from one to the other. She says Diamond Art Club, she says, also sells glue. She says, but she's not used that herself. She says if a small corner spot is missing, she says then a glue runner works great. She says she has taken out boxes with Christmas decorations. She says, but she actually still has to do the tree. She says it's been sitting in the living room corner, she says, for 2 days already. Sometimes it's just not, your energy levels just aren't there. Sometimes they really aren't. And for us, it was there for the tree. It just wasn't there for the rest. I guess it depends which order you do it in. She says she has prepared most of the gifts too. She says, but none are wrapped yet. She says that adults are getting handmade soap from her this year. Oh, very nice. And I bet it was just as much fun doing them. Probably, in fact, probably more fun doing them than it is wrapping them up. Because wrapping is okay when it's a birthday, isn't it? It's quite nice to do wrapping for a birthday. But Christmas, there's just so much of it. I don't think it has the same enjoyment level as a birthday does. Unless you make it a full-on evening activity with snacks and a Christmas movie. Then I can imagine it will be better. Or it will feel nicer to do. Kaz says she's loving my festive nails. Thank you ever so much. Talking of presents, I have presents on my nails. Oh, that's a double one. Don't need that. Pampered with Diamonds says she does like the matching pen and tray. Thank you. I do always try and sort of match up to my tray when I can. It's just another thing that makes me smile as I'm diamond painting. Looking at my nice pens, using my nice pens and having a lovely matching tray to go with. It's always something that makes me happy and makes me smile. Drama-free diamond painting on the 3rd. She says, what a brilliant idea. She said it makes much more sense now. She says, having so much fun. Well, I'm so glad. I did think that one would potentially cause confusion for some. Days 3 Advent gift. But I think things are coming a little bit more apparent for it. It was tricky to sort of work out what days to make sure that you've got things early enough to be able to use them and implement them. Trying to make sure that you knew there was an intended purpose rather than just having the canvas and then maybe completing it on day 1 to 4 and wondering what to do with it. I wanted to make sure that you knew what our intention was to do with it. And there's loads more exciting gifts to come that vary up a little bit different. but you sort of get the main theme now, or at least the main item theme, and the rest are all different bits for you throughout the rest of the Advent. So it'll be fun. Kim, she says, hey, she says, shout out to the person who lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan for a while. She says, by the way, she says you pronounced it perfectly, Rebecca. Oh, good. Hopefully I pronounced it perfectly today as well, because I could have pronounced it differently to how I did the other day. Because that is just the way I roll. She says Kim says that's where she was born and raised. She says where she got married and where she had her son. Ooh. See, it's a small world out there. She says she lived there for 25 years before ending up in Indiana, she says, for the next few decades. She said, isn't it strange, she says, that even though she has lived here, she says, in this town in Indiana, she says, for 4 decades, she still considers Kalamazoo her hometown. Yeah, I can get why, if you've lived there, you know, well into your adult life. I don't know where I'd consider my hometown, but I moved a lot when I was a child, so I don't know whether, I don't know where I'd consider hometown. She says, of course, she says she still has family near there. She says, so she still visits the hometown often. She says, by the way, she says she needs a Catherine. She says, cooking and wrapping. She says, a perfect housemate. Yes, there are definitely benefits to having a Catherine, I will say. She's sat over there. She might have headphones on, but she's still chuckling away and listening. She can still hear.
I'm unemployed, so I'm for hire now.
She says she's unemployed, so she's for hire. At the moment, you're employed by me. Get packing card stuff.
I'm still doing it.
But yeah, it's definitely handy. Once she gets herself a full-time job, there is definitely times she's going to be extremely well missed. When the house gets into a little bit of chaos, it's always good to have that hand getting it back straight again, for sure. Jerry, she says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She says squirrels are the worst, she says, when it comes to tormenting. She says she lives in the mountains and have lots of animals around. I'm just trying to get my diamonds to cover the symbols. Every now and then I just need to give them a nudge. She says the squirrels love to jump on her roof from a tree that is nearby. She says they cut branches off, she says, but they didn't want to cut the tree down completely. She says you would not believe, she says, the racket that they make. She says it sounds like there are people running around on her roof. She says when she goes out to confront them and get them off her roof, they stomp their front feet and chirp at me like I am invading their space. She says, I mean, technically, I am invading their space, she says, but it's my roof. She says she's just finished the day 2 section and will be working on her day 3. She says she's just a little bit behind. And that can happen. It definitely can ebb and flow as the day goes on. But we have section 5 finished over here. If I just zoom you guys back out a little bit and try and scoop my laptop up. We are getting there. Have I got a little bit more? I've got a little bit more zoom. But yeah, we seem to be very much like this at the moment. In fact, we still are for a couple more days. We're working on these columns. I'm sure we'll get caught up on some of the rest later. But you know, that's just the way the cover paper lies, and I am going with it. So thank you very much for joining me for today, and I will speak to you all again tomorrow.